Hey, Dr. Paul, just wanted to share with you. We just got out of our expert witness testimony for a major personal injury case here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm at the airport getting ready to fly back home. But I wanted to share with you, and we teach this, is how do you pretty much know when the defense or the insurance company just kind of folds the tent? In other words, they fold their tent and we're in. And this was the first time in probably 20 years I've never had the actual defense, the insurance company, never asked me one clinical question about the patient. Not one. Any question they had was totally trying to attack me and discredit me personally. It had nothing to do with the patient. Why is that? Well, that's what happens when you learn high sensitivity, high probability diagnostics first. So that's the first thing. Then you have to learn the science of the 3 phases of healing. Then you have to learn spinal biomechanics as taught by Panjabi and White. And you have to learn the stages of spinal degeneration. And then we take that information and we put it into a logical, sequential layout that simply tells the story and explains it. So it's very easy to understand for even an 8th grade educated jury. So we took the case, did all those things, took it through the mechanism of injury, took it through the injured magnifiers, took it through the subjective findings, the hybrid findings, the objective findings. See, the jury's hearing all this. It just keeps building and building and building and building. It's like an avalanche. They get swamped is what happens because it's so real. And it never should have gotten this way because the insurance company, in this case, did not even want to pay his medical bills. So here, this person who hit him is paying for insurance. The person that got hit's paying for insurance. And by the way, it was the same insurance company. They did not even want to pay his full medical bills. That's how much they wanted to cheat him out of this. And he suffered a permanent injury. He suffered a permanent injury as a result. That was we were easily able to show. So it was quite unbelievable that they even allowed it to go this far, thinking that they could get away with not even paying for his medical expenses. And they were at fault. That's how bad these insurance companies are. And that's why they have to be taken to court. In other words, held accountable. Held accountable for the premiums that the people pay. So anyway, we took it through mechanism of injury, injury magnifier, subjective findings, hybrid objective findings. That takes it to MMI. Of course, we explain how that relates to the science of the 3 phases of healing. That takes it to the impairment rating. And of course, we explain the relevance of that. And then we go into the impairment indexes, why the person has pain and suffering with activities of daily living and why they have maybe no pain in some motions, a little pain in different motions, and more pain in some, and why they can't do some motions. Well, that's all easily explained through the diagnostics and the science of the 3 phases of healing when you know what you're doing. And it's very easy for a jury to understand that. So from there, we take it to the prognosis. Well, this person's going to need care the rest of their life. Because of an injury, that resulted as no revolt. No, he was hit from behind 40 miles an hour by a 3,000-pound vehicle, and they didn't expect any permanent injuries, any problems, and they didn't even want to pay for his medical bills, even though the driver that hit him had been paying premiums for however many years. He's been paying the premiums to get him to pay, and that's how much they don't want to pay. But the point of me making this brief video is it was so tight. It was so tight. The expert witness was so tight with all of those categories. There was nothing to attack clinically. Nothing. He didn't ask me he didn't try to negate not one clinical question at all. He strictly came after me, and that's what they do. They try to, when they can't win, they try to discredit the deliverer of the information. And of course, by that, that's the number one sure sign they lost. They've given up. That's the number one sure sign. But I was surprised that there was no clinical questions on that patient at all. They only tried to go after my credibility, and of course that doesn't work very well. So, and they let it go this far. So now it's going to go into a jury's hands. And now that jury knows the full story. And they could have settled this way. They could have prevented all of this by paying his medical bills and offering them something for that permanent injury. Instead, they took their premiums from that guy. They didn't even want to pay for the medical expenses and nothing for his permanent injury. And so that's why we're in court saying, hey, you need to honor your contract with your client. He paid those premiums, so you would pay up, not deny everything. Unfortunately, that's what happens. That's why there needs to be expert witnesses. That's why you need to know what you're doing. You need to be educated in personal injury, high sensitivity, high relevancy documentation, how to deliver the case. And of course, that's when you win. You're untouchable. He didn't touch one clinical aspect at all. That's how tight we put that case together. That's what that says. He didn't go after any of it. He couldn't, because we tied it down so tight. So they go after you. So anyway, I just wanted to share that information with you. I just finished about an hour and a half ago, and we're flying back out of here. And that's how you do it. That's exactly how you support the patients. And this is not, I just want to say this. This is not about ridiculous amounts. That client's not asking for $5 million. He's asking for his medical bills to be paid, and he's asking for just compensation to have his future medical bills paid as a result of this permanent injury. Real simple stuff. So, anyway, I want to share that with you. But that's what happens when you're a chiropractor and you understand this. That's when you get a lot of business. And that's exactly what we teach at Chiropractic Personal Injury Marketing and Documentation. So if you're not familiar with us, check it out. Go to chiropracticpersonalinjurymarketing.com. And we teach you how to document these cases, whether they have it or not. And that's part of the equation, is making sure you let the jury know what they don't have. See, that's part of the trust equation. All right, just wanted to point this out to you. So in one way, it was pretty exciting that they didn't even ask one clinical question. That's how tight the diagnostics and the delivery of the diagnostics were put together. That's what I can teach you how to do. Give me a call.